Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dearest brothers and sisters in Islam. I pray you all doing well and welcome to the New Muslim Academy and our series, Islamic Morals, Manners and Etiquettes. Continuing with the theme of interacting with one another, especially in public spaces. Islam has so much to say because it's not just a religion, it's an entire way of life. And as we can see, if we have amazing morals, amazing manners, then naturally, subhanAllah, we become appealing to other people from the time they see us. They don't need to hear us from the time they see us. And that makes it easier for us to teach them about Islam as well. Because if they like what they see, they will be ready to listen to what we have to say. And most likely they will like what we have to say as well. What does Islam teach us in terms of how we interact with one another in public spaces, in gatherings? Well, one of the lessons that Islam teaches us about is never to eavesdrop, whereby there's a conversation taking place and we forcefully try and, focus our ears to listening into that private conversation. Or it might not be that private, but it's a conversation of other people. It doesn't concern us. So Islam says, leave that which doesn't concern you. And it is not from the Islamic etiquettes to eavesdrop, to try and listen into other people's conversations. So this is an important point, and we see this sometimes, subhanAllah, where people are prying into other people's conversations. Sometimes they pry by looking onto somebody's screen of their phone, for example, to see which app they're in, etc. Islam teaches us we shouldn't do this. We should help keep people's lives as private as possible, even when we are in the public space. So this is the first lesson. The other lesson is again, another etiquette. Islam teaches us not to laugh too much. That laughing is permissible. Of course, it's a form of recreation. It energizes us, but we shouldn't be excessive in it. The Prophet ﷺ said, do not be excessive in laughing, for indeed excessive laughing brings death to the heart. Brings death to the heart. And death here, of course, it's referring to spiritual death. Yeah, that too much laughter, it negatively impacts the heart. So, there's a time for jokes and there's a time for jokes aside, right? The jokes are there to serve a purpose. And of course, there's rules regarding jokes that we shouldn't be lying when we say these jokes and so on and so forth. And the laughter should be contained as well. It shouldn't be excessive. It should be enough to rejuvenate us, but not to the level where it brings us this harm. There's this negative impact. Our spirituality is being consumed. So this is also from the teachings of Islam. Last but not least, Islam teaches us that it is disliked to belch, to burp, especially loud in public gatherings. And when we are with a people, that we should contain it or excuse ourselves and do our burp more privately. And if it happened beyond our control, then of course this doesn't go to bad manners. This was beyond your control, but then you excuse yourself. You really excuse yourself and you apologize profusely, because the Prophet ﷺ, he was once in a gathering and a person did this, and the Prophet ﷺ, he said, "Kuffa anna jusha'ak," that hold back from us your belching, your burping. So 3 etiquettes for today's episode. I love you all for the sake of Allah. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.